Hey guys, it's Stacy and welcome to the Retro Time Machine. And today we're going to be making dandelion jelly. Dandelions can be found in abundance in the spring and in the fall, so you might need to scout out where your best dandelion location is, and also be mindful that these are shared by pollinators, so only take about 25% of what you see and leave the rest for our little buzzy friends. This dandelion jelly looks like a piece of prehistoric amber. It is so beautiful and so delicious. The flavor is like lemon honey, so I decided I would use it to sweeten a cup of tea, and it was absolutely delightful. For this recipe, you're going to need some pectin, a lemon, a lot of sugar, a strainer, some canning jars, and definitely a ton of dandelions. You're gonna need about 4 cups. I used 6 because I wanted my dandelion tea to be extra strong. Just be sure to wash these off and be mindful of where you pick. You don't really want to pick where a bunch of dogs go or where a bunch of cars drive by, and you want to quickly rinse them in cool water. That way you don't really damage the flower or anything like that. And mind you, dandelions only bloom on sunny days and they close up at dark, so you gotta be quick. So I don't know if you have crawfish where you live, but dandelions are a lot like crawfish. If you know what I'm talking about, you know that it means it takes work to get to the meat in the center. The green exterior, no matter how quickly you just rinse them in cool water and collect from a nice area, they want to close in the evening, and getting that green shell off is just a little bit tedious. So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks that I learned. I definitely suggest pulling up a good podcast or watching some more of my videos and start peeling your dandelions, because it does take a little bit of time to get 4 cups worth of petals. So what I noticed was the easiest way to peel the dandelion was to gently pinch down on the yellow flower petals and pull up on those little green tabs. Once you've shucked all your dandelions, then you're going to take a little snip at the bottom right above the green and collect your petals. This was probably one of the most satisfying things that I never knew existed. Putting your hands into this mass of dandelion petals is so fun and such a weird texture, and it's so soft and squishy. When the petals had finally expanded, I wound up with 8 cups. So I decided to use 6 cups of boiling water to make my dandelion tea. You're just going to mix it all together and let it sit covered for 24 hours. So for this recipe, I need a little bit of lemon juice, but I'm also wanting a lot of lemon zest. Now, when you're going out into the supermarket and looking for produce, it's kind of hard for some people to determine what's going to have a lot of juice and what's going to have a lot of rind and zest. So it's very simple. When you pick a piece of produce and it has like some sponginess to the exterior, that means it's got a larger layer of rind and pith. Something that you're going to juice that has more juice, like content to it. You want something that's very solid and firm. So if you're picking a lime for mojito, you want something that doesn't dimple like this one does. So I can feel that the interior of this is a very solid, but we also have a very dense rind, which is great for zesting and exactly what we want this lemon for. So just keep that in mind when you're picking out produce at the grocery store. Once you have found your perfect lemon, go ahead and get to zesting. And now that that beautiful lemon is all naked, go ahead and cut it in half and collect your juice. Don't worry about the seeds, we'll strain those out later. Speaking of straining, now that it has been 24 hours, we are going to go ahead and strain out our dandelion tea. We're going to squeeze out all the extra juice that we can from those beautiful dandelion petals. And we are also going to save a pretty good size hunk, about half, and put that away for later. So since we have 6 cups of liquid, we need 6 cups of sugar. I used 1 cup brown, 1 cup white, and 4 cups of raw sugar. You don't have to be this fancy, but your liquid to sugar has to match up. Add your lemon juice to your boiling dandelion tea and go ahead and add the lemon zest and save the dandelion petals for later, again. Next step is to sprinkle in your pectin. For a batch this big, I'm going to use 2 boxes, and carefully, lightly add it on top. Don't just dump it all in there.
So, fun fact about dandelions. Most botanists agree that the dandelions that you find in your garden are probably not native to America. They were most likely brought over from the Pilgrims and early settlers, and they used every part of the plant, from the root to the flower to the stem to the leaves. Everything about a dandelion is edible. So it's not necessarily a weed. It was actually brought over here as an herb. Don't look at the dandelion as a weed. Look at it as a beautiful gift from your ancestors. And let's use this for all of its great potential.
In a separate pot, go ahead and start sanitizing your jars and warming them up so they're ready for the warm liquid. Start adding your sugar a little bit at a time and make sure it is all combined and mixed together beautifully. This step is optional, but I feel like it adds such a cool look to the jelly. It really shows people that this is made from dandelions. I added it. I hope you do too. Adds a good pop of color, and it's just so pretty. If you like more citrus notes, you can definitely opt to add this out, but I added in 1 tablespoon of vanilla to really pull out those honey tones. And now it is time to can your jam. To seal your jars, you want to make sure there's about 1/2 inch of space from the water to the top of the lid. With these little gifting size jars, it was a little difficult, but just keep that in mind. For 10 minutes, they're set. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this video and hopefully learned some cool new fun facts about dandelions and how to cook them into dandelion jam or jelly. If you enjoyed this video, I would love to have you as a subscriber, and like always, take care and God bless.